take all these young men and to train them. You're taking this meat, this wine, you're giving it to them. And so Daniel's saying, hey man, I'm a Jew, I can't roll like that. I want to honor God, no way. And you look at Daniel and that's great, you want to serve your God, that's cool, man, but if you start looking a little bit different than all these other guys, my head's gone. And Dan says, you know what, check this out, man, like, I understand that, but do me a favor, let's do a test run of this. For 10 days, allow me and my homeboys just to eat vegetables and water. Not the meat sacrificed to idols, not the wine, just vegetables and water. After 10 days, let's check this out. Let's compare us with the rest of the crew. And if you know what, if we're dropping the ball and we're looking nasty, then that's something else. But at least give us a chance. Right? Now watch what happens. Verse 15. At the end of 10 days, their features appeared better and fatter in the flesh than all the. And I don't know if that's better, fatter. I believe. Better and fatter. I didn't look at the Hebrew word for fatter, so I'm sorry. But these features appeared better than in the flesh than all the young men who ate the portion of the king's delicacies. See, there's a bunch of these kids, and I imagine Jews, and said, it was never really in their heart, so they just kind of did whatever. They went with the flow. They're in the world. They're doing their thing. But yet, Daniel, standing up to it, his features and all his boys look better. So what did the guy do? Look at 16. So the steward, the guy in charge, he took away their portion of the delicacies and the wine that they were to drink and gave them vegetables. As for these 4 young men, God gave them knowledge and skill in all literature and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. I just love that. That's being in the world and not of it. God honoring and blessing them. Next chapter, if you guys read it and read it in your own time, but chapter 2, King Nebuchadnezzar has this dream that troubles him, and he sends this decree out. I can't believe this guy. He says, and in all this land, if I don't get some of you smart guys to tell me what I dreamed and interpret it, I'm going to start whacking all of you guys. What kind of deal is that? And so Daniel hears of it, and God gives Daniel wisdom to know what he dreamed and then interpret the entire dream. And God blesses him with the ability. And Nebuchadnezzar takes him and he exalts him. Daniel says, hey, it wasn't me, it was God. And then in chapter 3, Nebuchadnezzar gets full of himself and actually builds a gold mural or a gold statue of himself that was 90 foot tall. And he said, listen, everybody in my world here, when you hear some music going on, you got to get on your knees and worship this gold image of me. Right? And Daniel Daniel's probably away for a business trip or something, but his homeboys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you know the story. They're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to compromise my faith. You guys know the rest of the story. He says, is that right? If you don't bow down and worship the gold image, I'm going to send you in the fiery furnace and burn you. They go, all right, man, whatever, dude. They go in there. They go in the fiery furnace. There's Jesus right with them. Nothing touches them. Nebuchadnezzar is dumbfounded and ends up believing in God as a result of that. Magnificent story. It's funny though, when you look into that chapter, you know how King ends up finding out about their not worshiping Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? You know how they find out? It says certain Chaldeans, haters, persecute them and call them out to the king. King, they're not worshiping. Just these. I don't want to call it that they were kissing Nebuchadnezzar. But anyway, the haters, and now what will happen to you? You'll be at the job site, and you'll have the haters that will, King, Mr. CEO, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Hating on you. Listen, don't compromise, and you'll be honored, and God will be glorified. Crucial for us to understand. All right, let's keep it. Now let's do a little side Bible study. Go back to John 15 because we got to get through this text here. The book of Daniel is awesome. In fact, the book of Daniel also is a great prophetic book. God gave him great prophecy into end times events, which we call eschatology. It's been said that Daniel is the key that unlocks the book of Revelation. So if you're interested in that, highly recommend you to study that book. It's a fabulous book. John 15. Let's pick it up now in verse 20 and get rolling. Speaking of persecution. Verse 20, back in John 15. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant's not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. In other words, don't be surprised, man. It's coming. If they kept my word, well, they're going to keep yours also. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. Pause right there real quick. Here is the key to us understanding why we are being persecuted by the non-believer. Let me read one more time for you, verse 21. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake. Why? Because they do not know me. Because they do not know him who sent me. They don't know God. This is crucial for you and I to understand. So when that person at your work is hating on you and talking all about you, that person at school calling you a Jesus-free Christian, this and that, listen, the first reaction for you is to get mad at them, is it not? And to get even with them, or to stick up for yourself, or to whatever the case is. Listen, that's not the way to go. Pray for that person. They don't know God. Several times we've talked about this verse, and I'm going to continue to share it. 2 Timothy 2, 24 through 26 will give you the key as Christian how to respond in these type of situations to the non-believer. Very, very key. And I'm going to read it actually from the New Living Translation. I think it's said very well from that translation. 2 Timothy 2:24 says this: the Lord's servants, which is us as believers, must not quarrel. Must not quarrel, but be kind to everyone. That includes the person who's persecuting you. They must be able to teach effectively, I like this, and be patient with difficult people. 25. They should gently teach those who oppose the truth. Gently. Did you hear that? Gently. Not holier than thou. Gently. Perhaps God will change those people's hearts, and they will believe the truth. Then they will come to their senses and escape the devil's trap. For they have been held captive by him to do whatever he wants. I love that. That gives you a picture of God, to be able to see those people through Jesus' eyes. They don't know him. They don't have the capacity to understand what you and I are blessed to understand. So don't take it personal. You who are being persecuted, don't take it personal. You're going to get it. Listen, as a pastor, I get it all the time. And it's easy for me to get mad. No. Look at them as Jesus sees them. They don't know. Be able to gently instruct and interact with tough people. And to know the reason that verse 21 says, they will do to you because they don't know him who sent me. Crucial. Now verse 21 goes to say, all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him. Underline that and remember, and actually write in the margin that same verse, 2 Timothy 2, 24 to 26. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would have no sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled, which is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. I want to talk about verse 22 real quick. It says that if I had not come and spoken to them, they would have no sin. I find that interesting. Jesus said, if I would not have come here and then be able to share these miracles and talk with them, they would have no sin.